Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Efiko podcast. We are excited to have you back for today's episode. Today we have a message from Mr. Yu, who is a professional in the fast-moving consumer goods industry based in Jos, Nigeria. He just got feedback from the year-end appraisal that he needs to manage his time more effectively, especially that he tends to forget and lose track of what he is meant to achieve each day. Well, Mr. Yu, you have certainly come to the right place. The Efiko podcast is a community of professionals, business owners, and generally people who are looking to learn and improve in their work, in their business, and in their lives. My name is Omagbishe Baru, and I am your Online Efiko. Efiko is a Nigerian slang from the 1990s that means a nerd, someone who helps people to solve their problems. Let's take a word from our sponsors before we come back to continue to solve Mr. Yu's problem.
$83%, 83%.
83%? Is that your score on your promotion exam?
No, but if I can save 83% of the cost of newspapers, I imagine I will get a promotion.
How? By not buying newspapers for the office anymore?
No, by switching to the full digital version from the e-paper vendor. It costs up to 83% less and gives you even greater value.
So I can switch my entire organization to the e-paper vendor?
It's simple. Call the e-paper vendor on 0703 76 99479 or visit www.bebetterbooks.biz to enjoy the huge cost savings on your favorite Nigerian newspapers.
It's unbelievable, but true. I am switching to the e-paper vendor.
Yes, you can get the full digital version of your favorite Nigerian newspapers from the e-paper vendor by calling +234 809 536 8967 or visiting www.epapervendor.com. You should sign up for a free 1-week trial when you do. Many large organizations and professionals have made the switch to the e-paper vendor, and so should you. Now let's get back to Mr. Yu. You see, some people like to rely on their memory to get through the various activities for the day. If you do, you will realize that you tend to forget, mix things up, and sometimes leave out very important things. Your supervisor or others who expect that you will do certain things are often disappointed by the fact that you are unable to remember what seems to them like very simple things. Your professionalism and your competence are questioned, and your results will be below expectation. For many people who have multiple stakeholders, customers, colleagues, regulators, supervisors, parents, siblings, children, and spouses that are making demands of them each day, relying on your memory or on your gut feelings will never be enough. Typically, just as you are trying to respond to one stakeholder's request, another one comes in from somewhere else. So what do? Do you stop everything that you are doing and jump to the next activity? Do you remember to go back to the uncompleted activity? Or are you again sidetracked just as you would like to do so from another request that comes? Are you, for example, able to identify all the things that are undone at any point in time during the day? Or do you end up having to wait until your boss or your customer reminds you? The proper use of to-do lists can help you overcome these challenges associated with the daily heat of battle. I know that there are some people who start off using to-do lists And then after a while, they complain that the to-do lists were not working. Well, we have taken time to reflect on some of the most common challenges that people face when using to-do lists. For example, people ask, what happens when I have multiple instructions from different people? What do I do when I have a number of items left undone? How do I use a to-do list, for example, when by the time I get to work, there is already a pile of work waiting for me at my resumption? Or for example, some people say, what do I do when I do not have time to attend to the things that are on my to-do list and I have to attend to instructions from my bosses and my customers? Now, you too may wonder about questions like these and the challenging situations that they create. So when we come back, we will go through the rules for using to-do lists and see the extent to which these and other valuable concerns that you may have about using to-do lists and managing your time effectively can be addressed. First, let's take a word from the e-paper vendor, the proud sponsors of the Online Efiko podcast.
83%, 83%, 83%.
83%? Is that your score on your promotion exam?
No, but if I can save 83% of the cost of newspapers, I imagine I will get a promotion.
How? By not buying newspapers for the office anymore?
No, by switching to the full digital version from the e-paper vendor. It costs up to 83% less and gives you even greater value.
So I can switch my entire organization to the e-paper vendor?
It's simple. Call the e-paper vendor on 0703 7699479 or visit www.bebetterbooks.biz to enjoy the huge cost savings on your favorite Nigerian newspapers.
It's unbelievable, but true. I am switching to the e-paper vendor.
Remember to get your 1 week free trial of the e-paper vendor by calling +234 809 536 8967 or by visiting www.epapervendor.com. So, before we stopped for the break, we were asking and learning about how to use to-do lists effectively. To ensure that your to-do lists work all the time, I encourage you to observe a number of rules. So let's go through the rules together. Rule number 1, start each day with a to-do list. Please do not switch on your computer or start doing any tasks until you have taken a maximum of 2 to 3 minutes to write out your to-do list. Then, avoid writing large items like complete the project, especially where there are a number of component parts to the project that may spill into the next days. Rather, break down your project into smaller activities and write them down. Thirdly, write with impact. Ensure that you capture time frames. For example, meet with Amina at 2:20 p.m. Very powerful way to write with impact. You should also use conditional statements to enhance focus. For example, you can say, respond to email from Ukot once I finish meeting with Nike. Now, your day will be interrupted by other items from your bosses, from your colleagues and your clients, and you must be prepared to accommodate them. When you receive an instruction or a request from your boss, a colleague, or a client, do not rush to respond to it immediately. Rather, note it down on your to-do list. This way you will not forget and you can keep proper track of all your activities. As you deal with each item on your to-do list, rule a line over it, indicating that it is done. Continue to add and to rule out items as they come and are dealt with throughout the day. Now, close to the end of the day, review your list and give yourself a pat on the back for the things that you have been able to complete. Take about 30 to 45 minutes to tackle the low-hanging fruits that you can deal with before calling it a day. Simple things like responding to emails or reviewing a document or a memo. Then identify some of the time-sensitive issues that you have not yet dealt with and send emails or text messages to the people that are, concerned, the stakeholders that are involved in these particular items, renegotiating the delivery time to the following day. Finally, identify all the items that are still undone, open a new page on your notebook and capture them as the to-do items for the next day. You see, these rules that we have set out address some of the most common concerns that people have about the discipline and the rigor of using to-do lists. I assure you that no one is ever really perfect at using to-do lists, but trying out these rules and getting better each day will make a great difference in your life. I hope that you have listened attentively and taken down some of the most important points that you can immediately translate into action to help you to manage time more effectively and stay on top of your game using to-do lists. If you would like to ask questions regarding your personal, professional, or organizational development and have them discussed in a professional way for the benefit of a larger audience on this program, please send us an email to questions@onlineefiko.com or a WhatsApp message to 234-818-195-6161. Thank you, and we look forward to meeting you same time next week on the Online Efiko podcast. Until next time, my name is Omagbishe Baru, and I am your Online Efiko.